Well, here I am again. It's October 19th, Saturday. As you can see, the leaves are almost gone from the trees. There's always a few stragglers, primarily the oaks. But don't let the tree go. Don't let the leaves go, rather. But I'm back again scoping out my pumpkin patch, because that's what I like to do. And today was my goal. The pumpkin patch is kind of thinning out. Even though you can see the new stems are still, coming up on the top of the pumpkin patch, but I can clearly see little holes here or there in the pumpkin patch. So I pulled off a big pumpkin, 25-pounder, last weekend. So today was my goal to kind of look to see if I can find other pumpkins. And you would not believe what I found. I found me a massive pumpkin, even bigger than the one that I pulled off. I cannot believe this thing has been grown here all this time, and I could not have spotted it. But look at the size of this Goliath. It's a round pumpkin with no ridges. And I tell you, this thing has really eluded me because I only planted one kind of pumpkin seed. And it was a Jamaican pumpkin. I bought a slice from a store and saved the seeds. And I'm finding just round pumpkins, long pumpkin, ridge pumpkins. I'm finding all different kind of pumpkins in this patch. But I was hoping I would find a lovely surprise, and boy, I tell you, I could not have hoped for a better surprise. This is a massive pumpkin. I'm looking at this thing. If the other one was 25 pounds, this has got to be at least 35, maybe 40 pounds. A big ass pumpkin. So my day has been made. I found some little ones. Here's a tiny little one. You can barely see it hiding over here. And then I saw another one over here. I don't want to mess up this vine too much. Here's a juvenile one. You can see that one. It's kind of long. It's kind of long, but it's very juvenile. But I'm telling you, I could not believe. I said, oh my goodness. Look at the size of this blasted pumpkin. So I'm sure there's other ones in here. I just can't find them. And I'm going to cover this pumpkin back up because I don't want anybody to see this pumpkin and steal my beautiful pumpkin. Not that anyone would do that. So the pumpkin patch is thinning. I've seen now bald areas like this, which wasn't bald before. So the vines, I can see, fading of the leaves. Here's a leaf that's fading. But when you look at all the other areas, you can clearly see that the leaves are, for the most part, fairly green. I mean, just as green as it was when they first started branching out. So I know there's pumpkins. I do remember seeing one over here when it was on top of the vine. And this was when I was able to walk through this area, because this was always a path over here. But as the pumpkin grew, it covered the path. So I know there was a pumpkin that was on top of here that fell down once it got a little heavier into the patch. So I tell you, if I found that Goliath over there, there's got to be other pumpkins in here. I just know they are. I'm getting so excited when I saw that big old pumpkin. Here's a beauty here. She's growing. I check her every week, and boy, she's getting almost twice the size every time I look at her. I think that's what I like about growing pumpkins. You can just about see the damn things grow. If you stood there and watched them, you can watch them grow. So it's a lovely fall day. For some reason I have no ambition to do anything today. I'm having a rather lazy day. I got up this morning and I just have no energy. But I have energy to look at my pumpkin patch. Here's another lovely pumpkin in here. And they are growing. There's another tiny little one over there. Probably won't amount to much, because it's just too small. Because even with 2 more weeks, which is what I'm kind of hoping, I won't get small pumpkins like that. It just will not develop. There's just not enough time. But one never knows. You know, New England weather is strange. I've had years where it was so warm in December that the trees were tricked into blooming because they thought it was spring. So you never know with New England. You think the winter is coming upon you and spring hangs in there. And sometimes you get the first week in October and you get a major snowstorm. So here's a beautiful pumpkin here. This is a rigid pumpkin, which is different than the one I just showed you, which is a round pumpkin. And I tell you, every time I look at this pumpkin, it grows twice its size in a couple of days. There's pumpkins everywhere. Little pumpkins, small pumpkins, big pumpkins. There's another one over there. You can't hardly see it. I can't get to it too much without stepping on the vine, which I don't want to do. But it's a good sized pumpkin, and it will mature. But I tell you, I found that big old pumpkin today. I'm beside myself. Now I can say I've had a successful year, even though I grew 18 vines. My idea was, because they claim most pumpkin vines will give you anywhere from an average of 2 to 5 pumpkins, depending on the variety of the pumpkin you're growing. Some are high yield, some are low yield. So I thought if I grew 18 vines, I had 2 pumpkins a vine, that'd give me 36 pumpkins. Now I don't have 36 pumpkins, but I can clearly say just the joy I've had in growing and watching this thing and getting all excited like a small boy, you know, with his first toy. I think just the joy of having this experience, I think, is worth more than any amount of pumpkin I could ever grow. But I love it. I love the way it grows. I love the way, even though it's fall, you can see the shoots are just as prevalent as they were in spring. It's like it doesn't know this is fall. It just wants to grow. I wish there was a way I could cover this pumpkin patch with a great big hoop and some plastic, and I'd grow this bad boy into February. But this is way too large for me to cover. But maybe next year I'll think about covering a small section, and one never knows. But yeah, there it is. I discovered a massive, massive pumpkin. All this time I thought I had one big pumpkin, and would you know it, I had a massive pumpkin growing in almost plain sight. There it is. And it's a big one. It is so large it can't even get it in the frame of the camera. Cannot wait to pull that bad boy off. So my vines, like I said, it's thinning. It's thinning out. But I think next year, I don't know if I'm going to grow in this spot next year, because it's really not the ideal spot for a running vine like a pumpkin tree. I may decide the other section of the yard, which I open and have some sun. So there it is, video number 5, and a lovely day, a lovely fall day. The trees are all turning beautiful colors. That's one thing about fall in New England. You have some of the prettiest foliage. And once they go, the trees are bare. Nature is so marvelous in the way it performs. So that's it for now. Signing off, video number 5, the Jamaican Pumpkin Patch.